Here I am at London Fashion Week, interviewing people right here, right now. What's your opinion on the larger models on catwalks and Debenhams using size 16 mannequins?
What's my opinion about that? I think it's great. I don't think that, fashion should definitely be about being thin or, there's people are gorgeous no matter what their size or shape is, so I'm all for it, absolutely.
Thank you.
I also think it's a very good idea to show diversity of women. I think a model has to be beautiful, and I understand that that's very important, but beautiful comes in all shapes and sizes.
I think that it's really good to have the larger plus-size models on catwalks because it's a true representation of women, and also having the large mannequins in shops, because then you can relate if you're a larger size woman to what the item would look like, and I think it's a better way for women to feel when they're shopping that they can feel confident enough in what they're wearing. It's okay to be an average size woman, really.
I think it's really important. I think it's so important that everyone's represented, and that as a consumer myself, whenever I see someone who I think, oh, they look like me, it makes me really much more likely to go out and buy something because I think, oh, it might look good on me. Like, because I've got red hair, if I see a red-haired model wearing something and it looks good on them, I think, oh, that colour might look good on me. And I suppose it's the same with fit as well, and you have to appeal to everybody.
I think that it's quite difficult at the moment in the industry because of the way that the magazines portray all of the sort of skinnier models. So it's quite difficult for the girls, the younger girls, not to be influenced by that. So that's certainly something I think that needs to be addressed in the press. But also, quite a good example is the mannequin that we're using over here. That's supposed to be a size 8 mannequin. Quite difficult to find larger mannequins in the shop. That seems to be the sort of general size that people are using. So yeah, I think it's certainly something that needs to be addressed in the industry, and the more plus size models that they use out there, the better. We cater for all sizes here, so we don't really discriminate against sort of size. But I think certainly there is that in the market at the moment. Yeah.
Using larger models, as actually the general public is obviously a little bit larger than your average model. Personally, being a size 8 model, I quite like size 8 models. But I think that it's a really great thing that people are designing for bigger sizes. I know lots of women that I speak to who are larger find it really difficult to get designer clothes, and so that's actually something that we're looking into doing, is our ready-to-wear sweater dresses in the larger sizes as well, so we think it's great.
Okay, I think it's a really good idea, like what Debenhams are doing, because in the sort of society we live in, everyone is driven by what they see and what they perceive. So I can understand being a woman or anybody walking down the street or watching a fashion show and seeing these very healthy and sometimes incredibly slim models and thinking that you have to be that way in order to enjoy things like fashion, and that isn't the case at all. And I think that what Debenhams is doing is a great idea, because it's not a huge step. It's not like they're trying to break down any huge doors. They're just politely saying, look, have a look. It is possible to be a natural sized woman and still enjoy great fashion. So I think it's a great idea, and I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think anything that embraces kind of the natural form of human beings more is a positive step.
I'm all for it, to be honest, because I don't like the thought of young girls growing up with the pressure of thinking that they will always have to be like a size 8 and to sacrifice their health for the way they look. So I'm all for it.
Absolutely, totally, again, 100% for it. I think that a lot of the actual mannequins these days, I heard my friend saying that actually the majority of mannequins are actually underweight and so thin that they're not right to make, like they don't actually have periods because they're so skinny. So if that was a real life, then they wouldn't be able to survive properly, and there'd be so many kind of health implications. So let's get some healthier sizes.
It's really bad, because when you do clothes, if you don't have a very skinny models, some things doesn't fall really nicely. And and you cannot do it like you would like to do it. So it depends on the designer what you want to do. For me, it's more like I would prefer a skinnier one because the cotton, the textile feels easier, nicer, it feels. But if you have larger models, it stays there, so the shapes are not so aesthetic. But yeah, it's important to have them, so the designers will have to think about it already.
I think that the large size mannequins work well as long as it's a healthy size. Because you're looking at saying that like size 0 isn't healthy, but you also don't want to look too far into size 20 and going up because you want to promote healthy eating as well and being the right size. So I think we should, but do it like the average healthy size.
I think it's a great idea. I think why not? You know, it's wonderful. I still think it's tough. Larger sizes are difficult for designers, especially small businesses, because, for example, it's easier to make your samples in a size 10 than it is to make them in a larger size because it uses up less fabric. That's the bottom line. But I'm all for it. I think it's, there are a lot of women that are that size and they're not catered for. So I think it's brilliant.
But there's probably a need for variation of sizes. So we need the slim ones, we also need the larger ones, so people can easily relate to it. But the importance is that how something is represented in any way, it should still look beautiful. And beautiful can be large and it can be slim.